tight without manipulating any part of my arms. And I come up.
Alright guys, now I'm going to cover the bat swing. Okay, and we're going to go through the mechanics of a bat swing in cricket. Not golf and not baseball, cricket. There's a big difference, alright, because there's 4 stages, not 3. I'm going to try not to get too scientific because of my sports science background. I'm going to try and simplify things as much as I can, but there's 4 stages to a bat swing in cricket. Okay, you've got your back lift, okay, then you got your down swing, which is coming down, then you got your impact and your follow through. Okay, what you guys want to know, obviously, the benefits of using power bat and how that's going to benefit my game, make me hit the ball further, and what you need to understand is the mechanics behind it. Now in the 4 stages, right, I'm going to break it down to each stage one by one and tell you not just the scientific benefits but my personal benefits, what I also feel, okay, and therefore you can understand things a little bit better. First part of your bat swing, alright, is the back lift, okay, and the most important part of the back lift, right, to generate power, okay, and this is what kicks off the rotational velocity, right, which is that, okay, start of your swing. But this is what kicks it off. The most important part is the angle of the toe, alright. They say about getting your hands up as high as you can, and that's not easy to do because what happens, you adjust your swing according to what you see coming with the ball. So obviously your swing's not always going to be the same, but it's going to be as consistent as possible. A lot of guys, they get their hands up, but the toe's not pointing up to the sky, and it's very important in your back lift to get your hands right up, not up, but your wrist cocked, where your toe is pointing as high as possible, okay? The reason why you do that is because you get to a point here where you can actually feel in your hands, you unload the weight. So from here to here, I can still feel weight in the bat, but when I get to here, I unload the weight, right? When you unload the weight with your wrist cocked and the bat pretty much at 180 degrees, it's a little bit different with the bow here, right? So once I unload the weight, what happens, I'm actually storing a lot of energy in my wrists, okay, for the downswing, okay? And therefore, I've got a lot more force coming, the rotational velocity, there's a lot more, while your body's also creating torque, because your body's creating torque in order to hit the ball further, but your hands also have to do a certain amount of work. And now with power bat, because of the angle and the curve in the handle, I'm allowed to get up here a lot quicker and sometimes even past the 180, which is giving me a lot more whip, okay? And hence why on my downswing, which is the second phase, right, it's much faster, it's much more accelerated, okay, in comparison to a normal bat where there's a bit of a lag, okay? Much faster downswing, hence more acceleration, while my body's also creating torque, and hence why I can hit the ball. When it comes to the contact part, which is the third phase, I'm making a much faster contact because force is mass times acceleration, right? So rotational velocity is much more force, accelerated mass. It's around about the same weight, these bats, about 210, but the speed of it coming down, it's a lot faster in the downswing, and hence why when it comes to the impact part, which is the third part, the ball's going to go a lot further, okay? Now on the third phase, okay, we're talking about the actual contact part. When you're making contact with the ball, right, look at the angle here, look at the angle there. This is a full curve, the big difference, and then what I'll do, I'll pick up a slight curve, right? So slight curve to full curve, you look at this, you look at that. When I'm going through my swing, right, on contact point, the biggest difference I feel, right, is the ability to elevate the ball. And what you'll see when I'm hitting bombs, right? When I'm using the full curve, right, I'm able to get under the ball a lot easier, and my hands are behind the ball. So what the advantage of that is, one, I'm getting more elevation. Two, is I've got a split second more time, like I'm talking point whatever, like minute terms, right? To make contact and maneuver the ball where I want to do, so where I want to hit the ball. So by me saying that, it's not just, this stuff is not just for your power players. Guys that want to work the ball, maneuver the ball, you know, work gaps, it gives you an additional advantage because you got that 0.1 of a second extra to actually be able to do what you want to do with the ball rather than just make contact. So it's giving you more options, right? So that's what I feel. And in comparison to a normal bat, I'm not getting the elevation that I want, okay? Whereas with these two, I'm starting to get a bit of elevation here. Here I'm really getting elevation, right? I'm getting under it and I'm really lifting it. And then when we go through to the last phase, which is your follow through, right? The difference I feel here, if you watch me closely when I hit balls, right? You'll actually see with a normal bat and with a slight curve, I'm finishing back here, okay? I'm getting a full swing, all right? What I found with the actual heavy curve, and this is quite interesting facts, is if you watch me hit balls with a heavy curve, I'm not finishing all the way back here, I'm finishing more there. So there's a snap, and what's happening, there's a lot of force. When I'm talking about torque, right? I'm creating so much force through the ball, right? My body's actually counteracting it because there's a certain mechanism that's kicked off in regards to my safety and me not injuring myself, because I'm swinging so hard. There's so much force going on here. My shoulders, there's actually an anti-rotation that's happening here. It stops me here pretty much because there's enough power there. I actually don't need to finish off my swing. So that's another interesting fact. And your body, the way it works, sometimes when it's working and it's generating too much force, your body will actually compensate and stop it there. That way you don't get injured. Okay, so that's another fact which is very, very important, which means pretty much is, what it means is I'm hitting and I'm creating enough force, right? I don't need to finish off there. As you'll see consistently, I'm not. So it's a different sort of swing. It has altered my swing slightly, but it's getting the results and it's effective, and that's what we want. You guys want to see how much further you're hitting the ball using power bat? Well, I'm going to show you. Here we go, guys. So now we get it, and don't forget to subscribe.